Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And as always, I hope it's full of whatever you need to make this weekend great. I am here to do a pretty fun, easy video for you guys today. I have been out and about over the last month or so, and I've been out with a lot of different readers in my life, and all of them have recommended some different backlist books for me to pick up, things that I haven't read or authors that I've always wanted to read. And so I'm going to do sort of like a backlist book haul here. These are five or six books that I picked up recently that are all backlist. Some newer than others. I'm going to go actually in reverse order from when they were published and tell you about them. And then if you've read them, we can talk about them below. Or if you haven't read them, hopefully they'll make your TBR and you can get them at your used bookstore, your independent bookstore, your library, wherever you go to pick up your books. So let's get started. But as always, I think most of these are going to make your list, guys. So get out your pen, your paper, your Goodreads, get ready to add them. The first book that I got is The Magicians Apprentice by Patchett. Now, a couple of people have really been praising Patchett in my life lately. My online book club highly recommends her. My friend Chris from Chris's Bookish Cauldron has just been flying through her novels. And then when I was on the Reader's Retreat in San Francisco, Thomas recommended that I pick up The Magicians Apprentice as a good place to start with Patchett. So I did, and here it is. And this book came out in 1997, I believe. And this is the story, yes, 1907. This is the story of Sabine. Sabine is married to a magician. She is his assistant, and he passes away. And she finds out in the reading of his will that the family that he said was no longer alive actually is alive. And they have also been named in his will. And then this is the story of her sort of investigating into the life of the man that she was in love with and married to, and also these people that are his history. And it goes from Los Angeles to Nebraska, sort of sweeps a very broad canvas of America. So I think that actually sounds really entertaining. So that's The Magician's Assistant by Patchett. Hopefully, I don't know why I haven't read Patchett. I really should have read Patchett. So hopefully that will be the one that kicks it off for me. The next book came out in 2009, and this is also a recommendation from Thomas over at Hogglestock.com, and also a former member of the Readers, and that's Strangers by Anita Brookner. I have been picking up Anita Brookner, but I've never actually read her. And so this is the story of Paul. Paul is sort of a bachelor in London. He has one sort of distant family member that he interacts with, but one Christmas he decides that he is going to go on a vacation to Vienna because he does not want to spend Christmas with his one relation. In that trip, he meets a young woman who is much younger than him. Her name is Vicky Gardner, and sort of a relationship between them. And then when he gets back, his ex girlfriend or former girlfriend also comes back into his life and makes him reassess sort of his independence / understand maybe his aloneness and his feelings of isolation. I hear Anita Brookner actually is quite a master when it comes to dealing with the theme of isolation and aloneness. Again, another author that seems like she'd be right up my alley. So this is Anita Brookner's Strangers. Have you guys read anything by her? I do also have Hotel de Luc, is that what it is? De Lac, that is on my shelf, which I bought. So I really probably need to get into her as well. The next author on my list is Amelie Nothomb, and I read her latest novel, and I was just so entranced that I've started to pick up her earlier works, and I want to say this one came out in 2010. So this is again by Europa, who you know I love, and this is called Lifeform. Excuse me. And this is actually sort of interesting. The premise of this novel is there's a fictional author, also named Amelie Nothomb, who starts receiving correspondence from a gentleman named Melvin, who is a vet from the Iraqi war. And what has happened is Melvin has started to basically just eat and eat and eat until he has become so heavy that his life is not the way that he assumed and or expected. And what happens is they start a correspondence, sort of a epistolary relationship. And she, the author, is fascinated with him. And I think the way it says, it discusses friendships as it develops, one that delves into the universal questions about human relationships. The bond between Maple, that's Melvin, and Nothomb will undergo a sea of change when the novelist discovers bizarre facts lurking behind Melvin's complex personal story. So I love also, I believe this is a picture of Amelie Nothomb that is used as the cover. So I think that is just fantastic. So this is Lifeform by Amelie Nothomb. This is translated from the French by, I wonder if it's the same author that translated the last one. It is, Alison Anderson. So there you go. The next book was recommended to me by my friend Shirley. I was in a bookstore with her and she said, Russell, have you read A Whole Life by Robert Seethaler? And I said no, and she said you should. And I should. This was translated from the German by Charlotte Collins. And this is the story of Andrus Eggers, who lives in this very specific place on this mountain valley where he has lived his entire life, I believe, his home. And it's the middle of the 20th century, and it's about him and his connection with the place that he comes from. It's about the value of solitude, according to the insider, and the arrival of the modern world, and above all, the moments, great and small, that make us who we are. I think this cover is gorgeous, and I love I love those quiet novels just about inner thought and inner discussion of who you are as a person and who makes you who the person you are. So this is A Whole Life by Robert Seethaler, translated from the German by Charlotte Collins. Okay, last but not least are two books, but it's really a duo. And this one came out last year and one came out this year. So one is clearly a backlist in just a year, but the other one is new. But I'm going to tell you about them both because they go together. Well, I'm going to tell you about the first one, and hopefully. And that is Amberlough and Armistice. And they are both written by Lara, Elena, Donnelly. And these come recommended to me by my friend Emily over at Possibly Literate. And let's just take a moment. Those covers are just fantastic. I weirdly bought the second one thinking it was the first one, and then it took me forever to find the first one. But I'm going to read you the inside of this because it sounds so good. It says, by day, Astrid is the MC for Amberlough City's tight nightclub. By night, he's a smuggler who moves drugs and refugees under the nose of crooked cops. Meanwhile, after a disastrous mission abroad, covert agent Cyril DePaul makes a dangerous choice to protect himself, and perhaps his lover, Aristide. Then enter streetwise Cordelia Lehane, burlesque performer and Aristide's runner, who could be the key to Cyril's plan if she can be trusted. As the twinkling marquee lights yield to the rising flames of a fascist revolution, these three will struggle to survive using whatever means or people necessary, including one another. And it says on the back, it says, the heat is on in Amberlough. Meet a smuggler, a dancer, and a spy during a decadent era just before a political coup is about to set the city on fire, exploring the roots of hatred, nationalism, and fascism, while at the same time celebrating the diversity, love, romance, fashion, and joy that the world is capable of producing. So I think that sounds so good. And I know my friend Emily has loved both of these. So this is Amberlough and Armistice by Lara, Elena, Donnelly. These are both out by Tor. You guys know how much I love them. And I just think this cover is great. So that is technically, I think, 6 backlist books for you guys to get onto your radar. Have you guys read any? Let's talk about them in the comments below. And as always, if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you are new to my channel, I hope that some of these books make it onto your TBR. And as always, until next time, happy reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!